Alright, in this video we're going to be going over chapter 2-5, which is solving inequalities with variables on both sides. Now, let's take a look at this problem here. Notice you have a variable on the left and you have a variable on the right with the 3x. Well, what we want to do is we either got to move this x over here or this 3x over to the other side. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to move the 3x because the 4 is on the same side. So I'm going to get that 4 by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3x to this side, leaving the 4 by itself. Now bring down your inequality, and negative 3x, and this is a 1x. So when you combine that, you get a negative 2x. Now, I need to get rid of that negative 2 in order to get x by itself. So we're going to divide by negative 2 because that's the opposite on both sides. Now remember, if you recall, dividing by negative or multiplying by negative, you end up switching or flipping the inequality sign. And 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. So the solution to the equation, or to the inequality, is any number that is greater than negative 2. So that's how that is read. Any number that is greater than negative 2 would satisfy that inequality. Now, on this particular problem, notice I have x's on both sides, and I have x right here, okay, and an x right here. Well, it's going to be easier if I move this 3.5x to the other side because it's smaller than 6. Now, some of you might not like that because it deals with a decimal, or it could be turned into a fraction, but 6 minus 3.5 happens to be 2.5x. Now, I'm going to bring down my minus 1, bring down my inequality, and then on the right-hand side, I simply bring down the 4. I'm going to add the 1, because I want to get this inequality, or that, I'm sorry, I want to get that variable by itself. Well, the 1's cancel, bring down my 2.5x is less than or equal to 5. Now when I divide, and the reason I'm going to divide is because this is 2.5 times x, so we're going to divide by 2.5, and you end up with x is less than or equal to 2. Now, I'm going to go ahead and graph it. It's solid because this is equal to, so it's a solid dot. I need all, I'm going to put the number 2. I want all the numbers that are less than, so that's going to be to the left. Now, sometimes you might have to simplify or do a little work before you can start solving the problem. For instance, this happens to be 6 times, there's a times there, 1 minus x. Well, I could get rid of the 6 by dividing by 6, but I can also distribute here. And 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times minus 1x is a minus 6x, which is less than 3x. Now, my next step is I'm going to take this x over to the other side. So I'm going to add 6x. And if you notice, the reason I did that was to get the x's all to one side and leave the constant by itself. So this 6 comes down. So there's your 6, less than. Now, I added 6. I didn't multiply or divide, so my sign stays the same. 6 plus 3 is 9x. I'm then going to divide by 9. And x is greater than 6 over 9, which reduces down to 2/3. Or if you want to do it 0.6 repeating, that's fine, but not necessary. So I'm going to put 2/3 here. It's open, and all the numbers that are greater than and be to the right.